Once upon a time, there is a girl named Alice.
Oh dear, I shall be late.
By accident, she falls into a fantasy world, and everything starts to get weird and unimaginable.
Come, there's no use in crying like that. I advise you to leave off this minute. But it's no use now to pretend to be two people. Why, there's hardly enough of me left to make one respectable person.
But who has won?
But who has won?
But who is to give the prizes?
But who is to give the prizes?
Give the
Prizes. Yes, please do.
In this unfamiliar world, she wonders who she is and keeps in search for the true self.
I hardly know, sir, just at present. At least, I know who I was when I got up this morning. But I think I must have changed several times since then.
Explain yourself.
I can't explain myself, I'm afraid, sir. Because I'm not myself, you see.
Serpent, I say again.
In this unbelievable adventure, she encounters problems and riddles everywhere. Even a tea party will drive her mad.
No, there's plenty of room.
What day of the month is it?
The 4th.
2 days wrong. I told you butter wouldn't suit the works. Twinkle, twinkle, little bat, how I wonder what you're at. You know the song, perhaps?
A stolen sweet of my God!
Of course, this wonderland is not perfect. Sometimes she is in danger.
Did you steal them?
No, Your Majesty.
Did you?
No, Your Majesty.
Did you steal?
No, Your Majesty.
If everybody minded their own business, the world would go round a deal faster than it does. Taking off axes, chop off her head.
Princess! Idiots! What's your name? Off with her head! Off!
There is a place, like no place on earth.
Wit and courage make her stronger. She bravely speaks out in an unfair trial.
Nothing can be clearer than that. Then again, before she had a fit, you never had fits, my dear. I think.
Never!
Then the words don't fit you. It's a pun.
No. Sentence first. Verdict afterwards.
Stuff and nonsense. The idea of having the sentence first.
You will come!
I won't. Who cares for you? You're nothing but a pack of cards.
When she wakes up from the dream, everything returns to reality. But she still immerses herself in those wonderful adventures.
Wake up, Alice dear. Why? What a long sleep you've had.
Oh, I've had such a curious dream.
Welcome to the first English audiobook, Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. Alice was beginning to get very tired of sitting by her sister on the bank, and of having nothing to do once or twice. She had peeped into the book her sister was reading, but it had no pictures or conversations in it.
And what is the use of a book,
thought Alice,
without pictures or conversation?
So she was considering in her own mind, as well as she could, but the hot day made her feel very sleepy and stupid, whether the pleasure of making a daisy chain would be worth the trouble of getting up and picking the daisies, when suddenly a white rabbit with pink eyes ran close by her. There was nothing so very remarkable in that, nor did Alice think it so very much out of the way to hear the rabbit say to itself,
Oh dear, I shall be late.
When she thought it over afterwards, it occurred to her that she ought to have wondered at this. But at the time, it all seemed quite natural. But when the rabbit actually took a watch out of its waistcoat pocket and looked at it, and then hurried on, Alice started to her feet, for it flashed across her mind that he had never before seen a rabbit with either a waistcoat pocket or a watch to take out of it, and burning with curiosity, she ran across the field after it. Unfortunately, it was just in time to see it pop down a large rabbit hole under the hedge. In another moment, down went Alice after it, never once considering how in the world she was to get out again. The rabbit hole went straight down like a tunnel for some way, and then dipped suddenly down, so suddenly that Alice had not a moment to think about stopping herself before he found herself falling down a very deep well. Either the well was very deep, or she fell very slowly, for she had plenty of time as she went down to look about her and to wonder what was going to happen next. First, she tried to look down and make out what she was coming to, but it was too dark to see anything. Then she looked at the sides of the well and noticed that they were filled with cupboards and bookshelves. Here and there she saw maps and pictures hanging upon pegs. She took down a jar from one of the shelves. As she passed, it was labeled orange marmalade, but to her great disappointment, it was empty. She did not like to drop the jar for fear of killing somebody, so managed to put it into one of the cupboards as she felt past it.
Well,
Thought Alice to herself,
after such a fool as this, I shall think nothing of tumbling downstairs. How brave they'll all think me at home. Why, I wouldn't say anything about it, even if I fell off the top of the house.
which was very likely true. Down, 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 would the fall never come to an end?
I wonder how many miles I've fallen by this time,
She said aloud.
I must be getting somewhere near the center of the earth. Let me see. That would be 4,000 miles down, I think.
For, you see, Alice had learned several things of this sort in her lessons in the schoolroom. And though this was not a very good opportunity for showing off her knowledge, as there was no one to listen to her, still, it was good practice to say it over.
Yes, that's about the right distance. But then I wonder what latitude or longitude I've got to.
Alice had no idea what latitude was, or longitude either, but thought they were nice grand words to say. Presently, she began again.
I wonder if I shall fall right through the earth. How funny it'll seem to come out among the people that walk with their heads downward. The antipathies, I think.
She was rather glad there was no one listening, this time, as it didn't sound at all the right words.
But I shall have to ask them what the name of the country is, you know. Please, ma'am, is this New Zealand or Australia?
And she tried to curtsy as she spoke fancy curtsying as you are falling through the air. Do you think you could manage it?
And what an ignorant little girl she'll think me for asking. Oh, it'll never do to ask. Perhaps I shall see it written up somewhere.
Down, down, down. There was nothing else to do. So Alice soon began talking again.
Dina will miss me very much tonight, I should think.
Dina was the cat.
Oh, I hope they remember her source of milk at tea time. Dina, my dear, I wish you were down here with me. There are no mice in the air, I'm afraid, but you might catch a bat, and that's very like a mouse, you know. But do cats eat bats, I wonder?
And here Alice began to get rather sleepy and went on saying to herself in a dreaming sort of way.
Do cats eat bats? Do cats eat bats?
And sometimes,
do bats eat cats?
But you see, as she couldn't answer either question, it didn't much matter which way she put it. She felt that she was dozing off and had just begun to dream that she was walking hand in hand with Dina and saying to her very earnestly,
Now, Dina, tell me the truth. Did you ever eat a bat?
When suddenly, thump, thump, down she came upon a heap of sticks and dry leaves, and the fall was over. Alice was not a bit hurt, and he jumped up onto her feet in a moment. She looked up, but it was all dark overhead. Before her was another long passage, and the white rabbit was still in sight, hurrying down it. There was not a moment to be lost. Away went Alice like the wind. It was just in time to hear it say, as it turned a corner,
"Oh, my ears and whiskers, how late it's getting."
She was close behind it when she turned the corner, but the rabbit was no longer to be seen. She found herself in a long, low hall, which was lit up by a row of lamps hanging from the roof. There were doors all around the hall, but they were all locked, and when Alice had been all the way down one side and up the other, trying every door, she walked sadly down the middle, wondering how she was ever to get out again. Suddenly, she came upon a little three-legged table, all made of solid glass. There was nothing on it except a tiny golden key, and Alice's first thought was that it might belong to one of the doors of the hall. But, alas! Either the locks were too large or the keys were too small, but at any rate it would not open any of them. However, on the second time round, she came upon a low curtain she had not noticed before, and behind it was a little door about 15 inches high. She tried the little golden key in the lock, and to her great delight, it fitted. Alice opened the door and found that it led into a small passage, not much larger than a rat hole. She knelt down and looked along the passage into the loveliest garden you ever saw. How she longed to get out of that dark hole and wander about among those beds of the bright flower and of those cool mountains. But she could not even get her head through the doorway.
And even if my head would go through,
thought poor Alice,
it would be of little use without my shoulders. Oh, how I wish I could shut up like a telescope. I think I could, if only I knew how to begin.
But you see, so many out-of-the-way things had happened lately that Alice had begun to think that very few things indeed were really impossible.